And welcome everyone to a WCC Katz Chats. I'm Andy Katz. Please be joined by Roxy Bernstein, who'll be covering a lot of WCC games for the ESPN family of networks. And Roxy, let's talk about the beginning of this season. Gonzaga, St. Mary's at the top of this league. St. Mary's opens the season in South Dakota against Wisconsin, a great top 30 type game to start the season. Gonzaga, Killian Tilly had a knee scope. We're not quite sure what his availability would be here at the beginning of the season, but they're still feeling pretty good as a potential top 15 team. How do you assess both Gonzaga and St. Mary's entering the season?
Well, let's start with the Zags, Andy, because, okay, they may not be at the level they were at last year, where I thought, and I still am under the impression, they didn't win the national championship, but I thought they were the best team, even though they did win. As we know, it for 40 minutes, anything can happen. But they replaced some of the key losses that they've had, and I expect some of their younger players to really step up. Corey Kispert is a guy they're really going to rely on. Philip Petrusev is a guy, Andy, I really think that can make the jump. And in the absence of Tilly early in the year, this is a guy in year two that's going to make a big leap. We've seen it with Gonzaga bigs over the years. The second year is when they really emerge. That's what I expect from Petrusev, and they've got the two transfers that are going to help them out immediately with Gilder and Woolridge in the backcourt. And I like that Randy Bennett has been aggressive in scheduling this year. That's been a knock on Randy over the years, right? And some of the seasons they were left out of the tournament is because they didn't play that aggressive non-conference schedule. Here he is. He's playing Wisconsin, has a Utah State game coming up down the road. So they are really going to get tested early in this season. And I think a big lift for them was that Logan Johnson was cleared. And he's eligible to play immediately, which will help out Jordan Ford. And I think that Jordan Ford is emerging, not just one of the best players out west, but he's one of the best scorers in all of college basketball.
All right, so BYU. How do we judge the Cougars? Because Yoli Childs suspended for the first 9 games of the season. They're out in the Maui Invitational. TJ Haw is going to have to carry a lot of weight early in the season. How are you going to judge the Cougars early?
Well, I think that for Mark Pope, he's got to look at the first 9 games to find out what else he has up front. He knows he's got Yoli, and Yoli's going to be there for game 10. But what else is going to be there for BYU in the front court? And with TJ and then Jake Toulson transferring in, who will give them, I think, a big lift in scoring. And I know it's going to hurt them short-term, Andy, but in the long run, this may benefit them, considering they'll have some front court players that are going to get tested early in the year where they're going to pick up those minutes that Childs normally would take.
All right, so the other team that I'm high on is Pepperdine. Colby Ross, Kessler, and Cameron Edwards. I think Pepperdine will have a season where they're going to be right there to potentially get in, but a lot will come down to 3 Pac-12 games. They're going to play Cal, kind of game that they really should win. USC, you never know how that's going to play out. And then in the Wooden Legacy Tournament in Florida, they open with Arizona. What do you think of the Waves?
They're interesting because we saw the transition for Lorenzo Romar last year. And now they're more athletic, and Keith Smith coming over from Oregon. And it's always unique, and you get these tournaments around the holiday. Let me see. Lorenzo Romar worked for Sean Miller. Hey, let's put Pepperdine against Arizona. It's amazing how this works. But Pepperdine's a team that appears to be on the rise. And Lorenzo Romar's bringing in some high-level players that maybe they haven't seen in a while.
If there was one other team from 5 to 10 that you would say needs to be in this conversation, is it Santa Clara?
I think it is. I love the backcourt of Santa Clara. Taj Eddy, Trey Wertz. And Josip Frankic picked up a lot of experience last year. I think now that Herb Sendik's moving forward, year 4 now for Herb at Santa Clara, this could be the year the Broncos make the jump. I think they will be in the top half of the league. Can they challenge Pepperdine maybe for 4? And could these teams push BYU for 3? I don't know. But I think Santa Clara definitely could be in the mix for 4.